Good evening to the dugout, and it happens to be the first dugout of this summer. I'm not feeling it, but clearly Siddharth is. Me and Gulati are dressed appropriate to the weather. It's actually gotten cold since yesterday.
Yeah, because it's quite windy outside.
Why?
It is. Because of snowfall up in the
Correct.
mountains. Yes.
Snowfall in the mountain. But Siddharth, ever since he's come back from Bangalore, he's got the feeling that summers are here. So why are you without your jacket?
Yeah, I mean, if I wore the jacket, it would feel rather uncomfortable. And since the shade had broken down near my desk, I was exposed to the sun entirely for 1 hour, baking hot sun. So that's why I felt no, I need not wear the jacket. And that's why I decided to shun the jacket.
At least I mean, the only people who will thank you is our viewers, who must have gotten sick of watching that same jacket for entire duration of the winter.
I'm
The
back
T-shirt kept changing.
Yeah, but yes, I'm back to the bright colors, and yes, summer is approaching though, very nearly. It's coming. It's only 1.5 months to go, and I'm dreading it. Yes.
So what's happening in the world of cricket?
Well, Australia continue to dominate in Gaul.
Australia or Steve Smith?
I mean, it's an overall. I mean, you look at the Australian bowlers, Kuhneman, Murphy, and not in this match, Murphy, Kuhneman, Lyon, and Stark have destroyed Sri Lanka. Steve Smith, man, what a freak. 36th Test 100. 7 centuries now in Asia.
Most runs by an Australian batter in Asian conditions.
Yes, yes. Surpassing Alan Border. With 6, he had 6. Ponting also, he surpassed, so that's why.
Is he the only cricketer at the moment who's got more Test 100 than his age?
That's a good one actually.
I haven't thought about
What
it.
about Root?
Yeah.
What about Root? Root.
Yeah,
Joe Root is 33,
Joe.
he's got 37.
Yeah, so Joe Root has gotten 3600s.
And he's 34
he's
years
34.
of age.
He's
Younger,
34.
correct,
Yeah,
correct.
Joe
Yeah,
Root.
yeah.
But that's a good observation.
Too.
Yep,
But
yep,
actually, it'll be a very rare club of
Yes.
people that have more Test 100s than their age
Yeah.
across generations.
I mean, if you have to look at combined,
When at least till they retired,
yeah, Sachin,
Sachin.
yeah, then
Ricky Ponting?
Ponting also,
Yeah, obviously.
Dravid,
Jack Callis?
Jack Callis,
Yeah.
Jack Callis.
Sachin, Ponting, Jack Callis, Kumar Sangakkara for sure.
Yes.
Mahila Jayawardene. Brian Lara, 2. I think he had more number of Test 100s than ODI 100s for sure.
Yeah, that's there. Yep,
But at least
3400s I think he had. Brian
Yeah,
Lara.
yeah.
But what age did he retire? Later, no? So he doesn't make
2007
2007
ODI World
Ah,
Cup. Yeah.
Should have make the list. I
He
think
doesn't make
Yeah, he
retired-
does make the list, I think so.
No, he retired beyond 35, no, I think.
Yeah, see, he.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll have to check for Brian. But rest of the cricketers that we have named for sure,
Yeah,
they fall
yeah.
into the
So,
list.
yep.
Yeah.
So Root and Smith have gotten more Test 100s than their age when you look at it. And Williamson,
Will
no.
Kohli get there?
Well,
This record.
I think he can, but I think it's
tough.
very difficult.
How?
No, I don't think so.
If he has a great tour of England, like how he had in
30 now.
2018.
30 and age
36.
36 and 30.
Yeah.
6 already behind.
Good England
year.
tour and 2 good. If the pitches in India are good, who knows?
So let's say 200 on a good tour.
Yeah.
That's 32. Age will be 37.
Yeah. So you're expecting that he'll do well against the West Indies at home, South Africa at home. Why not? Because you're not having a major tour overseas until October 2026 against
New
New
Zealand.
Zealand. Yeah.
And
That's
after
when
that,
you-
you're touring South Africa.
No, you're touring Sri Lanka,
Sri Lanka.
prior to that.
Yeah,
Then
prior to that.
you're touring New Zealand and your 5 Test series at home versus Australia.
BGT. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you're going. So, yep, Steve Smith and Alex Carey, second 100 after 3 years. He scores his second 100. 2022 Boxing Day, that was his last 100.
I'm so glad that everything got decided for WTC in Australia only.
Yes.
Because imagine we had gone with a false hope that Sri Lanka can beat and something can happen, and you would have been disappointed now. So you got disappointed
In
there
January
only.
5.
No.
Yeah.
And
we
his
know.
age was 37.
As I
36,
said, it
yeah,
doesn't make
yeah.
the list.
He
Huh?
didn't make the list. Yes.
No, Siddharth and I were discussing actually that despite Australia leading 1-0, how can India still qualify for WTC final? Australia need to have a 28-point penalty.
Now it is Now it is 41.
It is
And it is
41.
impossible. You can't. It's spin, yeah.
You're playing 3 spinners, yeah.
3 spinners. It's impossible.
No,
In
this
the
was
history of
impossible
cricket.
right after
Yeah.
the WTC was done.
Yep,
Period.
yep.
I think the mind works in that way only because of the scenarios videos that we have done, frequently. Na?
Because
It
even
does
if Australia
continue to
win,
do that.
even if Australia win Gaul, but they have a 42-point penalty, then they're out. Even if they win, but it's impossible.
That is true. But Test series, how many hundreds, who gets is still some time because India's kind of had a bit of a break in Test match cricket. You're focusing on Champions Trophy, and the big news now that after all the uncertainty, the stadiums in Pakistan are ready.
Yep.
They've been given a go-ahead, and again, at the risk of blowing our own trumpet, while there was a lot of reportage in India that it'll be taken away, it'll not be ready, I think we were the ones who maintained that ICC wasn't thinking of taking the tournament away from Pakistan, and that stadium, while they were running in a delayed manner, but like a typical Indian wedding,
Yeah.
they would be ready on time, and that's typically what's happened. I saw, in fact, an image today, very interesting. I don't know if you've done the story or not, but we must, where Mr. Naqvi, the PCB chief, the Interior Minister of Pakistan, is having a feast for the workers who finished the stadium
Okay.
in a jiffy, in a hurry, because it finished last moment. So today was like a meal plan where he was giving a dawat to all the workers who finished it
Okay.
in record time. So I saw the picture, him sitting, and as a table of, as you can imagine, a lot of biryani and things like that lying, and soft drink bottle,
Nice.
and they all
We'll
having
do
a-
that, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do
yeah.
it. Yep,
Yeah. Oh, the other thing that I noticed, which is also funny, that they were having these drills. I don't know if you saw, about catching a fan running onto the field. Like if there was a scenario of a fan running onto the field, how will the security manage that situation? So they were doing mock drill. So
Nice.
somebody is running, and then security has to go, and how will they catch him, and how will they pin him down? They're practicing
Yeah,
that.
I mean, that's good.
I
I
even
mean,
saw
it's
that.
good foresight. I mean, because you're hosting an ICC event after 29 years. So they have to be prepared for all these kind of things.
The only trouble that they've had now is with regards to the side screen in National Stadium Karachi, where I heard, where the side screen has become a bit bigger than it was anticipated, and it's blocking a lot of seats. And I was reading a report where ICC has said that, I don't know if you can fix the side screen, but if you can't, please refund the money of the people who bought tickets to be sitting on those stands, because they can now barely see some cricketing action. So that's the only minor controversy that there is, but otherwise it's...
They should take a book out of Delhi's fans with those pillars that obstruct their views at the Arun Jaitley
yes.
Stadium. Yeah. You should get a refund there, but you never get a refund there. So, unfortunate.
You will just be happy that you're getting a chance to go in there. Forget.
I know. Yeah, but the refurbished stadium looks really good in Lahore. So that's why, from February 19th onwards, you're going to see the Champions Trophy 12 days away. And it's going to be really fun. So that's good news for Pakistan. They need some good news because their cricket team has been very up and down.
No, but their recent ODI form has been good.
Recent
Defeated
ODI
Australia
But,
and Australia.
What was that reading? Saim Ayub or someone's been...
Saim Ayub
yeah.
has been officially ruled out of the... I don't know, for the fifth time I'm hearing this, he's been officially ruled out
Yeah,
of the
he-
Champions
No,
Trophy.
the funny bit was, I think Rizwan came for the presser. I don't know if you saw that, and he was asking, now he's not there, who's going to open? So he says, as a wise man once said, King kar lega.
King kar lega. I
You
hope
have
the
to give them
weather's...
for the sense of humor at least.
Yeah. Rizwan, I mean, his sense of... we saw it even in the ICC T20 World Cup also. Sense of humor is amazing from Mohammad Rizwan in particular. But will his bat do the talking? That is the one thing that I want to know. Yeah, as you said, Pakistan's form has been good, 2-1.
Defeated South Africa also.
Yeah, 3-0. They defeated them 3-0. Yes. Oh.
Okay, what are we discussing this evening?
Well, we seem to have won yesterday by 4 wickets, the first ODI in Nagpur. But all the talk was on the team selection. I felt that, okay, you won, guys. But wait, there are some undercurrents in that Indian cricket team. Because firstly, by Shreyas Iyer's revelation, and you pointed out late night, I was not expected to play. I mean, okay, so Virat Kohli's I mean, injury opened the door for Shreyas Iyer. I mean, yes, he's been punished by the BCCI. He's had an exile out of the Indian cricket team. But were they expected to continue the punishment for a very long time? Number one. Number two, I mean, Mr. Gautam Gambhir and the team management, I don't know what they are thinking because our ODI batting was stable. But they are trying to add a lot of khichdi into it. They like khichdi apparently. So why is it happening? That was the two main takeaways. Of course, you won the match.
As a side, again, nothing related with this, but since you mentioned khichdi, I remember somewhere reading or hearing that Gautam's favorite food is dal chawal, and khichdi is effectively it is right, and khichdi is effectively dal and
exactly.
chawal. So just a side. Rohit also loves ullo. So both of them love khichdi, and so there you go, there you go. But I want to break it down one by one. So you raised one question, so let's address each of those questions one by one. And my first question is, and we'll go in an order. So we tackle the intensity of the questions. Will keep increasing as we go along. So let's start with a loose delivery to begin with. The first thing that came to my mind. Shreyas Iyer's revelation per se, how do you think the team management would have taken it, that interview? Are they not going to make much of it, or do you think it will have ripple effects? And did he do it intentionally, or was it just part of the conversation? We've all heard it, so I'd like to know everyone's opinion.
I think it was a part of the conversation because
But he wasn't trying to be cheeky.
No, not at all. I think he was very clear when he was talking to Kevin Peterson, Parthiv Patel, and obviously the other members of the host broadcaster there, that I think there was a line that he said during the interview that, as you all are aware about, I wasn't set to play in this match. Virat's injury at the last minute made sure that I would be a part of the playing 11.
But do you know what was said at that time? He said that, as you guys may be aware, and it was Abhinav Mukund, I think, who was doing the and Parthiv was there and KP was there, and I think Abhinav only said, or Parthiv said, or both of them said that no, we were not aware of it. So Shreyas thought that they knew, but they did not, and neither did anybody apart from some reporters that happened, and there was an assumption, and people got to know that might be the case. So first things was, they said no, we didn't know about it. So it was a revelation for them. So you think that it was a natural form of conversation, it just came about in that?
It was a very frank conversation. I mean, I was watching a movie, but then I got a call, oh, Virat might not play, so I slept immediately. In a way, I think he was excited also that, yes, I'm making a comeback into the Indian team after England. I mean, he played the test series versus England, but then after that, he's not played. It was a frank conversation, which I think might get him in hot water privately. Because how on earth, I mean, I was not expected to play. When was the last time an Indian player came out and said that? We've seen how India's players absolutely watered down, absolutely cliched. They give the same response over and over again, unless provoked. So it was a frank conversation, but I think it will land him in hot water. Just wait for Katak.
Okay, so I don't know whether it will land him in hot water or not, but if it was to land him in hot water, I think that will be very unfair. Because I am in agreement with Siddharth here, where he says, I think it came out organically.
Yeah.
See, sometimes you are smart that you come out and say these things to make an impact. And obviously you will never say it in anger to make it look like that, listen, I want to take revenge and I'm saying it. No. I think he came out there and he said it very organically because the conversation was going in that order. See, if he really wanted to make it a point, he would have said it at the start. The question that was very specifically asked, because they kept asking about his innings, and he could have come out and said it at any point that, listen, you are all praising my inning, but I wasn't going to play. He never said that. It's only towards the end of the conversation where he was asked specifically by Abhinav Mukund that, how did you prepare for this game, knowing that you're playing after some time? And he said, well, because then he had to talk about his preparation. He said, funny story, I wasn't actually playing. I was actually watching a movie, and then I quickly went off to bed, I was told. So I think it was not intentional. It came very organically. And because it came very organically, I think, taking any sort of adverse, not action, but even an impression would be unfair to Shreyas. I don't think he came up with that mentality. Having said that, what I found very interesting in that conversation is towards the end of that conversation, where he goes on to say, because Parthiv, I think, said it again, that I didn't know that you were not playing, and Jaiswal, I didn't know that you were the replacement, because for us, it was pretty straightforward that you would be playing. And when he said that, Shreyas Iyer says, I know what you want me to say, but I'm not going to go in there.
I'm going to keep low-key.
I'm just going to be low-key.
Yeah.
I think that what that tells me, and there's nothing shocking about it or a revelation, that Shreyas obviously did not take it very well when he was told that he's not playing. It didn't go down well with him. Okay, last moment he's told you'll play because of it is another thing. So he didn't like it, and because of the protocol, because of the sanity of the dressing room, he didn't want to say anything more. Else, if his intention was to, set the cat amongst the pigeons, stir the pot a bit, then he would have come out and openly said, because he didn't start it and Parthiv really said that. So I think he was trying to be very neutral, trying to ensure that there's no controversy. But I think that last line where he says that I know what you want me to say, but I'll just be low-key. I'm not going to get that.
Indianized version of Jose Mourinho. I mean, if I say something, I will be in trouble. So he didn't say it, but then look, let's be very honest. The 4 ODIs that he played prior to this, 3 versus Sri Lanka, 1 against South Africa, didn't get him that much of confidence. He didn't score that many runs also. Here he scored a run. But honestly tell me, after he gave this interview, okay, will you persist with him for Cuttack? Because we know, how is it going to know?
What has the interview got to do? Can I be honest, and I'm not saying it ourselves, and everyone who's watching understands enough cricket, that before the post-match press conference happened, we were doing the discussion. I think if you were to ask us, Gill played a very good innings.
Yeah.
Indian bowlers bowled very well. But if there was the guy who turned the match, it was Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah.
And this was our opinion right after the game got over. And sure enough, I think the validation is complete when it comes from the opposition captain. And I thought Butler, I read the comment by Butler, and he said it. He said the game was even Stevens. We didn't score too many runs. They were 19 for 2. It was game on.
Yeah.
Shreyas Iyer changed it. Just took it the other way. So in that sense, you have to say that he's played a match-defining inning.
Of course.
And after this, if you don't play him, on 2 counts. One, you cannot drop. Anyway, I didn't think that he deserved to be dropped. He should have been a natural starter. Now that he started and played this inning, all the more reason that you cannot drop him. And if you're thinking that he said something, so you're taking a disciplinary action, even on that 3rd count, you're wrong, because I don't think he was out of line. He said it very organically, very naturally. I don't think his intention was to, put the team into trouble. And I think the team should see it. If you and I can see it, if he and I have the same opinion from the outside, I think team should see it. It was a very natural question asked. He responded.
Because
how can you drop him for Cuttack after this?
Yeah, because see, the reports are doing around that, yes, Virat Kohli's fitness is fine. So he will slot back into Cuttack. Now, who are the most droppable? One is a Shreyas, one is a Yashasvi. Yashasvi didn't get runs. So
who knows? There's one more candidate, not that it's going to happen, who does get targeted very often. KL
Rahul, okay. He didn't get to bat. He batted, but unfortunately he fell cheaply again.
You can't judge him in that one inning. Okay. No, overall, he's been one of your better batters.
If Virat comes back, I'll talk about team. And I'll talk about logic. Logic says who should be dropped.
Yashasvi Jaiswal.
But will that happen?
It should happen.
It should happen.
Again,
So Shubman, Rohit, Virat, Shreyas Virat.
You tell me, both of you answer that. Even to begin this series, Yashasvi is making his debut, right?
Yeah.
So how does he supersede a Shreyas Iyer? How can he go ahead suddenly? You go ahead, I agree that you make somebody debut when there is a bit of uncertainty in the team, there is a bit of confusion, and there is a lack of form happening in your team. That's when you say that, listen, now we need to make changes. X goes out. Listen, Yashasvi, you're in good form in Test and T20, you enter. Was that the case with the Indian ODI team? I don't think so. The last tournament, okay, Sri Lanka was an aberration, but the last big tournament you played, the 2023 World Cup, you were clearly one of the 2 best teams on display. Some might even say the best, barring that final that you had. and this is the batting order that's been performing. How do you then make a change in the top of the order? People are saying, I put the tweet out and a lot of people said, but hello, this is not done because Shreyas is not form, it's left hand, right hand. But how can left hand, right hand supersede a person who's in form? And again, has right hand not worked for you?
Yeah.
You reached the final of the 50 over World Cup with a right hand combination.
Yep.
You did not. Sachin
won
and Sehwag.
2011 with
Sachin
that.
and Sehwag were your two openers, both right-handers. You didn't really need right hand, left hand necessarily. And even if just for that sake, if let's say hypothetically, you have a left hand, right hand combination, it could have been Yashasvi Jaiswal who gets out pretty early. What are you going to do then?
Yep.
You're going to have all right-handers anyway, so you have to bat majority of the game with your top order with right-handers.
Yeah.
Either then you're so obsessed with left hand, right hand that now every alternate player then should be a left-hander because game will have different situations. Then if that is so important for you, clearly it's not. So just for one person, you make that thing. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, you can come up. I think that you can say left hand, right hand, but there's clearly something that is held against Shreyas Iyer. What that is, I don't know. And so it to make it convenient to put him out, you now say left hand, right hand. Because if left hand, right hand was so important, you should have dropped KL Rahul also, despite him being the better wicketkeeper batter in ODI, and say we'll play Pant. You should then get some other left-handers also to be playing. Start playing Washington Sundar
Because
at some point. You're
yeah,
not doing
absolutely,
it. So only for Shreyas Iyer you're doing it, which now tells me that there is more to it than meets the eye. It's not as simple as form. And
that is the more. I'll tell you why. Who is the current coach of the Indian cricket team? Gautam Gambhir. Okay? Gautam Gambhir and Shreyas Iyer have a good working relationship, right? Because Iyer won you under Gambhir, he won you the title for KKR in 2024, but then you didn't retain him. Okay?
No, so correction. I think KKR wanted to retain him.
But KKR wanted him to
But
be
he
their
asked
first
for
attention.
He asked for much more money.
More, yeah.
And as far as I know, that breakup wasn't a very congenial and a happy one. Sometimes you part ways and you say, okay, no problem, all the best to you, all the best to me. That wasn't, because he asked for some more money and they said, no, we can't. So he said, okay, I'm going to go into auction. You can blame Iyer for it, KKR for it. I don't know. I'm not taking sides. But it wasn't a
amicable
happy go,
breakup. Yeah.
lucky sort of.
Now, what was the prime build-up for Iyer's inclusion in the Indian cricket team? That is, exile is over. He and Ishan Kishan were the ones who were tasked to play domestic cricket entirely. Every format, VHT, SMAT, Ranji, no excuses, no complaints. You have to play all formats. Iyer did play all formats, okay? The interview told me that, see, he can be easily droppable. Yes, 15 and 36 changed the game totally in Nagpur, as Butler himself acknowledged. But Shreyas Iyer, despite the mountain of runs in domestic cricket, would still have not started had a Virat Kohli been there. Jaiswal
Why? My question is, please explain to me. If he doesn't start, I want an explanation. Do you see a valid cricketing reason? Are you in line with that?
No, I don't think, there's a valid cricket reason.
There isn't.
I'll just, put it in a way that's maybe, easy to understand. One thing is that assuming that, you wanted to try out, Yashasvi Jaiswal before Champions Trophy. Now, there is some logic and I'll tell why. Because let's say, there's a last minute injury that you have in a crucial Champions Trophy game, let's say against Pakistan. Maybe Shubman Gill gets injured. So at that time, you wouldn't really be thinking, oh man, should we, promote KL Rahul to open? Should we promote Virat Kohli to open? No, we have Yashasvi Jaiswal. He is a proper batter in Test and T20I cricket. Gave him 1 or 2 chances against England. Was pretty decent. Let's just have him at the top of the order. So if that is the thinking, I'm absolutely fine with it.
Can I tell you if it's a valid point that you make, and why I'm interjecting is because I'll tell you that's not the reason. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
So he makes a very valid point that, okay, maybe there is a situation that you're trying to test a Yashasvi Jaiswal. He's not played ODI cricket, so we'll see how he does. So if need be, then we'll go forward. Which would mean then that Shreyas Iyer is a guaranteed starter in Champions Trophy.
Yeah.
But if you listen to that, that's why I'm saying why. If you listen to that interview very carefully, I don't think Shreyas Iyer himself is convinced. That's where he says.
He said, I'm happy to wait for my chance. Whatever chances I get, I'm ready for it.
So one thing is that Shreyas Iyer himself, see, if you're in that situation, where let's say you're in an Arshdeep situation. I think Arshdeep is in that situation where he knows he's a 100% starter.
Yeah.
Okay. But provided, you know, you haven't seen Harshit Rana, so you said, let's play Harshit Rana. And I think there's logic in that, because eyes closed, if I'm only starting with two bowlers right now, two fast bowlers, if Bumrah is fit, it's Bumrah and Arshdeep for me. That'll start, because even Shami is not showing that full fitness at the moment. So I think in Harshit's case it was true, but in Yashasvi's case, one, if that was the case, Shreyas would not have said it the way he did, which shows uncertainty. And now I'll tell you a bit of news which I had picked up. I had heard that his selection into the 15 wasn't unanimous.
Yeah.
Shreyas?
Yes.
Okay.
So he got selected, but there was a division in the selection. So as you know, there are many people who are involved in the selection, and certain people were not really keen on having him in the 15.
Yeah.
So when I'm telling you this, then it is pointing towards the scenario where you did not play Yashasvi because Shreyas is 100% there and I just want to see Yashasvi. You played Shreyas because you were happy to have him sit out as a backup rather than play. And that's where I said, if it was purely cricketing reasons, left hand, right hand, then we would have seen many other things.
Yeah.
It wasn't the case. That's why I interjected. Your point is valid, but now if I give you this background, you will know that this is not the case.
So now adding to what you have basically said here, let's say, you know, what you're saying, that Iyer wasn't guaranteed a place in the 15, but now he is a part of the Champions Trophy. If it doesn't get to start in the 11 regularly, you have Jaiswal and Rohit Sharma opening, probably Shubman Gill at 3, Virat Kohli at number 4. A wise man once said that don't fix something that's not broken. It's as simple as that. This top 5, you know, guided you basically into the World Cup final. You could have won that one bad day.
You give me a cricketing reason and justify that.
There is no cricketing reason. He is your best number 4.
You are coming with non-cricketing reasons, which is KKR. I don't know whether that's true or not.
Even the past misdemeanors, attitude, that's why he was left out and he was forced to play domestic.
Okay, so now, to that point, let's say that is held against him. But my point is, for how long are you going to hold it against him? He made a mistake, right?
Yeah.
So did Ishan Kishan. They did not play, and after that they were asked to play, and they spent the entire season doing it. So at certain point you've done your time, na? You have to get back into contention. So even there it should have been clear. Let's say you still, you're not satisfied. I'm ready to buy that argument that you're still not satisfied. You think that their misdemeanor was so serious that you don't think only one season suffices. So in that case, don't pick Ishan Kishan for India A tour. In that case, don't pick Shreyas Iyer in your 15 only. Then that's a cut. Either black or white. There's no gray thing. Then you say, no, I think he needs to do more and to show his honesty and dedication to first class cricket, then I can. But now you have clearly admitted that he's done his time by picking him in the team, by picking an Ishan Kishan for an A tour, by picking a Shreyas Iyer in the team. Once you've done it, then you've told us that is also done.
Yeah.
Punishment is done. So now you can't hold that against Shreyas Iyer. So that cannot be the reason also. You give me a cricketing reason that he cannot be. And for anyone who comes up with an argument that, after the World Cup he had a bit of a dip, can we please have his overall stats? I think you just need to look at his overall stats and you'll get an idea of how good he has been in the ODI format. His overall ODI numbers are fantastic. As you can see, averaging 48, close to 50, a rarity, 500s, 19. You can look at his big match temperament. World Cup 2023, just look at his average at 66. At a very healthy strike rate of 113, 200s there, 350s.
The 7th highest run scorer in the ODI World Cup.
The most important bit here is the domestic now. So if anyone says that blip in Sri Lanka or whatever, where by the way, nobody got runs, then what is domestic cricket for? You've said we are going to be taking care of domestic cricket. We want to see players playing domestic cricket, and the record in domestic cricket is going to matter. What did he do? He set domestic cricket on fire in the S-mat that he played. You can see those numbers, T20 all right, but that's the format that he played, white ball. This is what he's done. And then you had Vijay Hazare, VHT, just take a look at those, numbers.
325, I only dismissed 4 times.
And the captain of the winning team. So I don't think there is even
captain of winning team in S-mat, not VHT.
So that's what I'm saying. That also goes as a credit, no? The captain of a winning team.
There's one more knock that's not included in this. One knock. Mumbai, he helped Mumbai win the Ranji final also last season. Scored 95 in that match.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is there was an issue. He went back to domestic cricket. He started playing. It was a fitness issue. He's proven his fitness by continuously playing long format, 4-day cricket as well.
Yeah.
If he's doing everything, every box is ticked, then how on earth does he sit out? Only cricketing logic was the one that Gulati presented, but once I give you the background, even that's not there. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying
This
I
is
hate
not
to.
cricketing reasons for Shreyas Iyer. It's not cricketing reasons at all. It is, see, conveniently team dynamics, team composition. It all is suppressed under that. Because if a Virat Kohli was playing, honestly, was a Shreyas Iyer playing?
No, then Virat Kohli probably would have batted at number 4, Gill at 3, Jaiswal and Rohit opening, and this
Exactly.
combination does not make any sense to me.
So an Iyer anyway he came because of sheer luck that Virat got injured.
But that's not how it should have been.
Okay,
That's how
the
it is
problem.
in Indian. Yeah.
Okay, one
But
more
how
point.
is it in Indian cricket? No, what is the logic?
Okay, one more point here.
If Virat was fit, also he should have been starting. Simple as that.
So I remember, Siddharth sent the team sheet yesterday when toss happened, and Iyer was slotted in at number 3 and Shubman Gill at number 4. Are Team India really looking at Shubman Gill as a middle order option in ODIs?
Why are they
Then
complicating it?
Iyer was just a replacement of Kohli. That's why he was probably slotted in at number 3.
I'm not reading the team sheet. That just
See,
is
because
mentioned.
you promoted Naksar Patel.
I cannot understand why you're making a khichdi. The Indian ODI team was sorted.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
everyone who's
absolutely.
getting run. So why are you making? So I just want to know who is the person who has taken this call. Of who could be the person who's taken a call that no, we need to have a left hand, right hand, and go with.
Team management plus captain.
No, I think I don't know. I'm just going to go by the past experiences. I think it's probably the captain. Probably.
In consultation with the
Yeah,
manager.
so I'll just, maybe, I'm just taking this instance into consideration. When Kohli was injured after the Ranchi test in 2017, he himself, I think Ajinkya Rahane said this thing in one of the shows that Kohli and Ravi Shastri came up to me and and Anil Kumble came up to me and they asked me that what's the team that you want to play, and you have the full freedom to choose whatever players you want to. So if that's anything to go by, I think it's probably Rohit Sharma.
So you tell me why I'm finding it hard to believe it could be a Rohit Sharma. One, he is a very good shrewd captain, and I don't think he quite often he's made any mistake in team selection. I think he's quite a sharp captain, very
Yeah.
good captain. If that's the case, then how is he making this mistake here? That's why I'm finding it very hard to believe. Secondly, I don't think he's a guy who's obsessed with always left hand, right hand. Why? Because you've just won the T20 World Cup with a Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma opening.
Yeah.
Both right-handers, no? So you won that tournament also. But how come? I can't understand. Unless, I mean, as I said, I'm a big fan of Rohit Sharma's captaincy. From the IPL to the Indian team, I think he's one of the sharpest captains you have. So that's why I find it hard to believe that he could be making a cricketing error.
Yeah.
Somebody who's so sharp making, correct cricketing decision, how could he be making a cricketing error by getting a Yashasvi, who, by the way, nothing against Yashasvi. I think he'll have a fantastic future even as an ODI player. But there'll be time, no? He'll come. Now your thing is settled.
Yeah.
Why are you making that change? So Rohit Sharma is doing it. I'm not. By the way, I don't know. Was that the whole animated discussion that happened between Gautam Gambhir and Rohit Sharma at the end of the match that carried on for very long?
It might have been. See, Rohit, we look at it, yes, tactically he made a mistake once, WTC final 2023, okay? But that was a different format altogether.
No, that way, though, even MS Dhoni I'll take out, who's arguably India's finest captains, also they would have been. So there's no captain who's flawless. But I'm saying overall, Rohit as a captain has been very impressive.
He has been impressive. See, but as far as team is concerned, this team composition bit, this obsession that you have, this white ball obsession, that you kind of corrupted it even in test matches. I mean, honestly, in the BGT, 3 all-rounders, batting all-rounders, how could you have picked? How could you elongate your batting in such a way that you didn't pick out and out 5 fast bowlers, which won you games in the past?
So why is that? I agree. BGT was shocking selection. See, you win, you lose, it's fine. But I'm only beginning to see these kind of shocking selections in the recent past.
Yes.
Rohit's been captain for some time now.
Yeah.
So how is that same Rohit who wasn't making so many blunders, if you are saying that the captain has been, deciding or is the final call, then how come what has happened now that the same guy who was quite level-headed in his selection would not make these blunders from BGT onwards to now you're seeing all this? I don't know.
I'm saying that's why I said team management. There is a big say in what the team management has got to do.
Or is it just
How
the head
can the
coach?
but team management can only be I don't think anyone else has the authority to take a. But the coach is always equally involved. I completely agree.
Yeah.
But
Gambhir is having far more influence. He's getting through to Rohit
And
in more ways than one.
And maybe that's happening because Rohit Sharma is under pressure himself.
His judgment is clouded.
His place in the Indian cricket setup is also under doubt.
that's an interesting point.
Yes.
See, I was trying to look for a reason as to why. Good point that Rohit, who's always been so good, and I know that taking a decision, you have to have a clear mind and you have to be away from pressure. Only then can you make those. And he used to do that very often. Yeah, this is a possible reason that maybe because runs aren't coming, maybe because he's under pressure, maybe
Results
because
also
we've
aren't
already
coming.
spoken about him dropping himself for that final BGT thing. Now, as that report, we've also, Rohit may have skipped it in the press conference, but as we reported here, that's indeed happened, where he's been spoken about his future. Maybe you're right then. It's that pressure which is now not allowing him to take those good, sane, sound decisions that he would take earlier. And that's not happening. But if that is the case, then that's not a great sign.
Yeah.
We have to find a way then to relieve him of all that pressure, because you have an important tournament in Champions Trophy coming where you need Rohit to be on top of his game, not as only as a player but as a captain. And he could do that. But if what you're saying is right, it could be a possible reason, then that's not a great sign ahead of a Champions Trophy.
Results are not going Rohit's way ever since November. Runs not coming, results not coming. You're out of one major ICC event. You're under pressure heading into this one. Sure, ODIs, sure, you won one finally after 2 years. You didn't win anything in 2024 because you played only 3. You are under pressure outside also because of reports. Decide your future, decide your thing. There is a lot of pressure hanging on. That's why you can't make sound, judgmental team decisions in that particular way. And that's where the team management, which I include, say, Gautam Gambhir, has a bigger say. Yes, Gautam Gambhir has a bigger say than Rohit Sharma. And you're clearly seeing in this. And guaranteed, Yashasvi is playing Katak, Shreyas isn't playing Katak.
Despite playing a match-changing innings.
We have seen this happen. Who else can be dropped? A KL Rahul. But what wrong has a KL Rahul done? That can also happen, by the way. That can happen. But Shreyas, because it's easy. Oh, yeah, one match doesn't prove anything that he says. Past misdemeanors have been too much. Whatever's happened outside also, he's bottomed the roof down in domestic cricket. It still might not satisfy this current regime that is there at this point. So, Virat, if he's back, Iyer is going out. There is no way that you are playing both Virat and Shreyas in Katak unless you drop a Jaiswal. And are you willing to drop
the
a
only
Jaiswal?
logical thing to do.
This
I'm
is basically
sorry.
a team, hurting themselves. It's as simple as that. You cannot drop Shreyas Iyer. He has been your best middle order batter, best number 4 in the last, I think, more than a decade now.
Yesterday, there was a kerfuffle, right? You said Shreyas will bat at 4 and Shubman will bat at 4, Shreyas at 3. But no, it flipped. Aksar came in. So that there is a ground for flexibility also in this Indian cricket team which the others didn't have. In 2023, it was set. Shubman, Rohit, Shreyas, Virat, KL, and then the rest. That's how steady and stable it was. But now we are seeing an unstable batting lineup creep in, which might be swept under the carpet also.
And I obviously took that Ajinkya Rahane example, Dharamshala Test 2017. I think I'll also go back to Dinesh Karthik's quote that Rohit Sharma is that kind of a captain who gives the players a lot of stability as far as their place in the playing 11 is concerned.
Doesn't sound from what Shreyas Iyer is saying that he's feeling very
But
stable.
I don't think so.
Prior to 2023, if you had compared Virat and Rohit's captaincy, Rohit Sharma's captaincy was like the Sarkari Daftar. Yes, I'm assured of a place in the team for a long time. But with Virat, it was like a war-like corporate scenario. If I don't perform, I may be out. It was like horses for courses. I mean, Manish Pandey will testify to that. Brilliant at number 4, but then horses for courses dropped.
Ambati Raidu
dropped, returned. He didn't know what was his role. So Virat was like a corporate style function which got you great results. Rohit also was getting results, but a Sarkari type. Okay, I will give you a long rope, perform. If you continue to perform, you will be with the team.
Unless Virat in all of this played a very friendly role. I know they're good friends. They said, okay, no problem. Shreyas, for you. I'll sit out. You
No,
play, my
no,
friend.
no. I mean, he was limping.
Just joking,
Yeah,
obviously.
he was limping though, and it was
No, no, it
heavily
was,
taped.
100%.
I mean,
No, but if Shreyas does
I
miss
just
out
say it
in
in
Cuttack,
jest.
I think it's going to be a big news.
No, I don't think they can do it now.
Yeah, I don't think.
They can't.
then yeah, drop Jaiswal. Logic dictates that. But has Indian cricket operated on logic?
And also, if anyone's pointing out that Gill's done well at 3 or 4, whatever, he's also done very well as an opener.
Opener, yeah.
He'll continue to do that.
Even in Sri Lanka, the 3 ODIs that you played, he was your best player.
After Rohit.
After Rohit, yeah. Shubman and Rohit were your best players. Everybody else failed. Virat had an average of 19.3 in that entire series. So, Punjab, he scored at 100 against Karnataka. So that's why even Iyer, yes, he didn't have a good run against Jammu and Kashmir. But who did? Which batter did well apart from Shardul Thakur in that?
But we're
Jammu
talking
Kashmir
about
game?
white ball cricket, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
VHT
Rohit and Virat didn't have a great time, but we're still predicting a good white ball series for them, right? Or the
Exactly.
season for them.
So yes, Indian cricket hasn't operated on logic for 6 months now. For 4 to 5 months, it's not operated
Yeah.
on logic.
I have to agree that the last few months, selection calls have been baffling. I mean, you see, I'm not looking at results. There will be good phases, bad phases. You win, you lose. But you get the basics right. You know what MS would do. Get the basics right.
Yeah.
Everything else is then you leave to the process, whatever, on a given day or how the opposition is. But if you're getting the basics wrong, making blunderous calls in selection, that I don't think is great. And
See-
it's begun to happen from now, which is why I'm really surprised that
And if you have to look at, you got a precursor of a different format though. 2 WTC finals. Your selection blunders only cost you. It wasn't you collapsed or anything. It was a selection blunder. On a green pitch, you play 2 spinners, but on a okayish pitch, you play only 1 spinner, and he's not your match-winning spinner. Beat that. So
Okay, we'll take a few questions coming up. We have Mr. Dahi Bhalla here. He says, he's saying that, while Shashwat is having to do morning winter apps, you are enjoying getting your favorite team RCB's interviews. Huh?
I mean, see, I got it. It's credit. I mean, yes. I mean, I was lucky enough to get it, and lucky enough to be that. Okay, I spent 10 minutes interviewing Smriti and also the RCB CEO. Kudos to them. But yes, if they perform badly, there is no sympathies. RCB, at least WPL, are far more successful. They have won the title. What the men couldn't do for 17 years. They have won at least a title in the second year. So yes, RCB, WPL are far more successful. So that is why.
Okay, Parth says, question to all three of you. Which cricketer would you like to interview? Someone you haven't already. Okay, so there's a quote. So you have to pick somebody you never interviewed. And what would be your first question for them?
You start. I mean,
The problem is that, let's say I would want to interview a Virat Kohli right now. I would love to, but I've already interviewed him a couple of times before, so I can't. So the one that I haven't interviewed and I would want to, then I'd pick Jasprit Bumrah. I would want to interview. I haven't interviewed him before. I'd want to interview him now. And first question would be, how's your back? The whole world wants to know the answer to that.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Gulati, you.
R. Ashwin.
Yes.
And
Your
first
first
question, I think it would really be, I think your retirement came maybe 2 years early. That's it.
What prompted it? You have to ask
Yeah,
a
what
question, no?
prompted
This is a
it? Yeah.
comment.
What prompted it?
Yeah. For me,
I think with Ashwin, yeah, just one more line. I think with Ashwin, the good thing is that the conversation can go on and on and on because he speaks very well. And I think there'll be plenty questions
So
too.
he's spoken just now, again, as candid as ever. He said that, we were talking about, because you spoke about Rohit Sharma's pressure and you pointed out, I also saw a very different version of Rohit Sharma in a press conference where he was a bit irked. He's never like that. He's so happy-go-lucky no matter what question comes. In fact, I was there at the press conference recently where he said, "Kya boring press conference," because there were not too many, hard questions that came in. So that's the kind of a guy he is.
Yeah.
And so I was very surprised that a couple of questions he got irked. And Ashwin spoken about it very candidly. He said that I agree that, the question probably wasn't the best. But then he also goes on to say that for Rohit, you have to expect questions like that.
Yeah.
That is bound to happen.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you have to take it in your stride. And that's something that Rohit's done very well in his career. That's why I was very surprised that I saw him for the first time not handle. Otherwise, he handles it so well
Yeah.
in his casual.
Mumbai style.
How
yeah.
many times it has happened that a team has gotten all out for 46 and the captain comes to the press
12 saal
conference and
mein
says कि चलो तलवार चलाओ
Exactly. That's his quality.
चलो
No?
तलवारें निकालो
That's his quality, which makes him so endearing, so likable, and that was missing in that press.
That shows he's under pressure, unfortunately.
Your favorite?
Pat Cummins.
Ah,
And I would ask him.
the reason behind Rohit and Kohli playing Ranji.
Travis Head.
How did you? I mean, what was the motivation to silence that crowd comment? I mean, that was the
World
first
Cup
question.
final?
World Cup final. It's the coldest line ever mentioned in the history of the sport. Coldest line. So Pat Cummins would be right up there too. Yeah, Travis Head definitely, but Pat Cummins is slightly better than him.
MS Dhoni. Acha. Shivam says he'll ask MS Dhoni why didn't you dive.
MSDNs will go after you.
Okay. Shubham Garg says, Nikhil sir, if balls falls in the drain in the Lahore stadium near the boundary, will players take it out or is it employment opportunity for some folk? Shubham, let me just tell you again, there's no need for any mean comments, right? Where we discuss cricket, we're not a geopolitics channel which trash or praise or do anything like that. We love talking about cricket. So in terms of that, that drain that you have is usually dry, if I'm not mistaken. So anyone can pick it out. There's no employment opportunity as such.
Yeah.
We'll find out when the tournament starts. The proof of the pudding is in its eating. So I wish them all the best. Yeah, they've got an international tournament after so long. Why should we be, hoping for it not to do well? The Indian team has taken a decision not to go there for, reasons best known to the BCCI and the government. And we found a solution where the tournament is going ahead. But that's not to say that I'm going to wish ill to them for not having a tournament. They've got it. Imagine, and I don't think of it politically. I've always said that I always try and think as a cricket fan first, because for me and I oftentimes think, because I met a lot of people from Pakistan who are cricket fans in the ground in various countries, because I've never traveled there, but abroad when you meet them, and I see that they have the same kind of passion that we have, and they love a lot of Indian players or dish a lot of Indian players, just like Indian fans do, whatever. But the only thing that I would sometimes feel is that they never got to see international cricket for such a long time. Imagine there's a generation, 2 generations in fact, not 1, 2 generations that missed out on their prime years of not having seen top international players play. I started loving cricket because, my father took me to watch an international match at the Eden Garden. So as a 10-year-old, I saw, Kapil Dev play and all of that. So that's how you fall in love. That's how majority of the people fall in love, by watching some live cricket. And imagine they never got that opportunity. They're
7
getting
years.
a tournament now to organize. Why should I wish them any ill?
Yeah, they'll pull it off. 29 years they waited.
Pull
for
it
this.
off or not, that's entirely up to their hard work or ability.
Yep.
If they've not done a good job, they will face the flak. If they've done it, they'll do well. But I'm not going to be hoping that they fail or doing anything like that. Entirely up to them. All the best.
Ravin Dhana is saying, what is the obsession with left-right hand combination? If you're going to play KL Rahul, that down the order, I would rather like to see Pant than KL Rahul.
No,
But
I
based
would
on
not
what
play.
I want to know.
I would not play Pant down the order at all. Pant in the ODI setup, either he opens or plays at number 3. Number 4, 5, 6, I don't think he's a perfect fit. Better to have KL Rahul, but I think KL is a perfect number 5.
And
but having Akshar Patel, I think in a way it made sense also. It was turning. England had a leg break bowler, so I think it did
Liam
make sense to have a
Livingston.
left-right combination.
And
No, Adil Rashid.
And can I tell you where that comment comes from? It comes from an impression that Pant is a bigger hitter of the ball than KL is. However, if you were to look at their ODI numbers,
KL is miles ahead.
Impact.
So, it's just a mindset, because of how he plays in Test cricket.
Test cricket,
So you get that mindset, but in ODI, they pretty much operate at the same
Yeah.
There's
level
no
in
reason
terms of their
to
strike
even,
rate.
2023 semi-final against New Zealand.
Yeah. No, there are many innings like that, just not one. But this impression comes from the fact that
Australia,
it's
Chennai.
not about who's done well or how many game-changing innings. The impression is that, okay, KL lower down is not a big hitter of the ball, so why have him get someone like Pant to do it? But that's a misconception is what I'm trying to say. Just have a look at some of those matches. Yeah, but that's fine. So how does it matter?
That's his.
There are 50 people who pick everything. Just because he's playing for Lucknow Super Giants, I'm not going to pick him. He needs to play better.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Shubham
matter.
Garg is like saying, Sidvi Shreyas last series was versus Lanka in 2020 not England. I did summarize that. He had 4 ODIs versus South Africa, 1 Johannesburg that he played in, and 3 versus Sri Lanka. So I did that later. But why are you associating Shreyas' potential omission with what happened in Test and Ranji? Unrelated.
He did not do well against South Africa in the test match that he played against England because he was struggling against spin. He was dropped.
Yeah. But then see, Ranji and Test, I mean, when you look at it, that is when it all began. Na?
Yeah.
He was not going to play Ranji. He was like kicking and screaming. He was taken to play the Ranji. He played. But he didn't play out of his own will. Now, he was not going to get a chance in the Indian cricket team. He realized that, okay, let me play. Yes, but looking at the way how it is, Shubham Garg has Indian cricket operated on logic for the past 4-5 months. It hasn't. That is the thing. So Dhanush is saying Shreyas ODI player 10 times better than Sky T20
He's
player.
been sending this message from yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
We've got your point, Dhanush. But by the way, if there is something that's unrelated, that's that, because different formats. Yes, Sky is going through a slump right now, but you can't argue that at one point he was one of the best T20 players on the planet.
Not AB. I mean, see, that's a different debate altogether. Abhi is saying, why don't you have Shashwat and Iyer discussions? Also missing his conspiracy theories. He'll be back. He'll be back soon.
the ones he cooks up in his and says it with full conviction.
Full conviction. Yes. Rakesh Bhushan. Dirty linens have been washed in public. Dressing room talks are leaked. How much you're provoked, you could say no comments. But all players want to be in the limelight, wants to be skipper, and they air their views openly.
No, so I disagree, Rakesh, by the way. Dirty linen is not being washed in public. All reports that were leaked did not come via players, by the way.
Yeah.
All of them. That's what I'm trying to correct. There are many other ways of coming out. No player has really openly come out and said it, whether it was in Australia or now. And even now, we discussed it, I think, so I don't want to spend too much time in it, but if you listen to a discussion of this subject, the first 10 odd minutes, I think we all agreed that I don't think there was any sort of malice in how Shreyas said it.
Yeah.
I don't think he intended to bring down the captain and the coach for that decision.
Yeah.
I think it was a very natural,
It
organic
was a frank
comment.
discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandpaper has a comment that Rohit, in the kind of form he is, even an injured Bumrah can score more than him.
That's a mean comment.
Yeah,
By the way, again, you're underestimating, you're getting mixed with format. Rohit in white ball cricket has also been outstanding, by the way. So give him some time.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, I've said it before, I see Rohit, the batter and the captain, go beyond the Champions Trophy in white ball cricket.
Yeah.
Not in test cricket, but white ball cricket for sure.
Yep. 2027 is their aim. If that is to be achieved, they have to do well in the Champions Trophy. Then and only then. Parth is saying, if KL had 100 in World Cup semi-final, would he ever get dropped?
He wanted to say final.
Yeah, maybe, but we don't know here. I mean, it's too many ifs and buts. It already happened. KL was criticized for his knock of 66 of 107 balls in the final. And we will never know. I don't want to speculate on that because what's happened has happened.
Yeah. Rakesh Bhushan has a comment that Manoj Tiwari scored 100, dropped in the next match. So was with Karun Nair and Ishan Kishan. If Virat is fit, so Shreyas walks out because he wasn't in the scheme of things. Right or wrong is a debatable topic. How does Shreyas Iyer
Rakesh
walk out
Bhushan,
of this ODI 11?
Have you been watching ODI cricket? Have you been watching the Indian team? He was a constant.
Yep.
So how was he not in the scheme of
And
things?
again, we
If anyone who was not in the scheme of things, it was Jaiswal. He's had a fantastic test career so far.
And in this entire debate, we have stated that there cannot be any cricketing reasons to drop Shreyas Iyer because of his form. There isn't any cricketing reason. There isn't any valid cricketing reason. But there are other factors, unfortunately.
Which Siddharth knows about, but he's not telling me.
I did say it, but then it will only come out if he's not picked in Cuttack. So,
Yeah.
Pawan Holla. For years, India was looking for a solid number 4 batter. And when you've got one, you don't back that player enough. You drop him with illogical reasons.
Nail on the head.
Absolutely.
That's what Pawan Ola has done.
Yep.
Exactly what we discussed.
Yes. You have keeled it. That's Rakesh Bhushan again. Azhar had Dungarpur. MSD had Srinivasan. Dada had Dalmia. Unfortunately, Rohit has none. As such, he's not getting the team he wants. His form has deserted and things are haywire for him.
Can I add something to that, Rakesh? I think you make a valid point about captain getting the backing of the BCCI president, and you've quoted valid examples as well. But I must give credit here. I think Rohit did get the backing of Ajay Shah at that time.
Yes.
He's not the president; he was the secretary. But if you saw, knives were out after your failure in Asia Cup, or before that the 2021 World Cup, then the 2022 T20 World Cup. Everyone wanted to move from there, and he announced it quite openly that Rohit Sharma is going to be there. He'll captain, so gave him that support that he needed, and actually that's helped you. Things may have changed now. I don't know how things are working at the moment, whether he's getting that backing or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's also an essential part of a captain doing well. Good point on that.
Yep.
And I think Rohit did get that kind of support. At least I saw that from close quarters.
Exactly. Abhi is saying, Nick sir, what do you think of Bumrah's YT channel?
Has he put anything
I
there?
really don't know.
We would love to hear that. 3, 4, but they're all like vlogs, nah. I like that, but I want like Ashwin type content. You sit and talk about cricket, but obviously he's a current cricketer. Not too many can be as adventurous as Ashwin. So maybe he might do it once he retires,
Yeah.
but not at the moment.
Exactly. Praveen, Rowe, when asked about team decisions in CTPC, he said it's captain's call and that's how it should be. Perhaps hinting that currently it is not like that. Really? I can't understand the question.
No, he did the press conference. I was there. And if he said, I can't remember, but if he said it is the captain's call to do everything.
Okay, maybe on that decision making, that maybe Gambhir has got more of a sway than Rohit. Maybe that's the response.
But he said
to
it's
that,
the captain's call. And
It's the
that's
captain's
so
call, yeah.
I don't know. It's tough to say what the dynamics are at the moment, but
Yep.
we'll get to know that very shortly.
I think Reality Check has a comment that Shreyas Iyer is appreciated as he did well in ODIs and he got consistent game time. Then a certain player who too could have done well but benched for KL, who has 150 in last 6 innings.
And that World Cup 2023 final knock. Yeah. I mean, he's like saying KL is also not in form, so why you have to continue with him?
But I do not like the cutoff. If I was to take that cutoff,
Last 6 innings.
last 6 innings, then
No,
9
why-
out of
why
your
aren't
10
we-
batters
Yeah.
will be.
I know.
Why aren't we really talking about,
Why go after KL? KL
Yeah,
बोल रहा है, मुझे क्यों
absolutely.
तोड़ रहे
No,
हो?
because he's an easy target.
Exactly.
And that's
Yeah.
what, but I'm just saying that the cutoff, that's what stats are very interesting. You cut it off like that to show it. But if you look at all other batters also, no, in that cutoff, they'll all be struggling, by the way. All of them.
All of them. Yep.
Shubham Garg has a comment that as Sidji have multiple times highlighted Shreyas failed versus South Africa ODIs post 23 World Cup. Can you guys tell how many runs he scored in that series? Played 2 ODIs and scored a 50, Johannesburg.
Wait. I'll just give you that entire list, okay? Like ever since the T20, ever since the World Cup, ODI World Cup, okay? This is the list that I have, okay? Now the last knock that he played was 4, right? 52, 23, 7, 8. One he scored against South Africa. He played only 1 match in that series.
No, there were 2 matches.
He didn't bat in the
He
other.
did not bat in the third
Yeah.
ODI. Yeah.
So 23 versus Sri Lanka, 7 versus Sri Lanka, 8 versus Sri Lanka. So 38 plus 52, if you look at it, he scored a total of 90 runs in 4 matches.
Yeah.
But prior to this.
Iyer also similar numbers, if you look at it, after the World Cup. He's got 4, 52, 23, 7, 8, 59. Pretty much the same. That's why I said everyone would be like that. Then you drop the entire
You drop the
batting
entire
line.
team, yeah. So it has been very, very middling for Shreyas Iyer post the World Cup also. But okay, 59 he redeemed himself. So again, does Indian cricket work on cricketing reasons nowadays? It doesn't. That's the problem. Ajay Shirke from Canada is like saying, does Iyer's form suggest senior players should get a relegation to the minors MLB method, that is Ranji etc. until their form is back? Squeezing in a Ranji game between internationals is not the same.
What he's trying to say is that look at how well Iyer is performing now because he played a lot of domestic cricket. Should seniors also be doing that? Just one game between international doesn't work. But again, you know what I disagree with that is the Shreyas Iyer the Test cricket wasn't under scrutiny, so his Ranji formed and doesn't come into play. It's a completely different format. Shreyas Iyer, the white ball cricketer, was anyway dominating at the highest level.
Yeah.
And he's continuing to do that now. So how much of it has been because of domestic cricket, it's tough to assess
Yep.
at the moment.
Daria Kasparova is saying your prediction for the tri-series. Yep.
Pakistan,
Pakistan,
New
New
Zealand,
Zealand, South Africa
I
are playing a
expect
tri-series.
a Pakistan-New Zealand final. South Africa, any which ways, aren't at their full strength at all. They're going to have as many as 7 debutants in their first match of the tri-series. I don't think they'll make it.
Yeah, Pakistan, New Zealand with Pakistan winning. That's what I see. And but Pakistan are
Flat
peaking-
tracks winning, you mean? Nah?
Yeah.
Roads winning.
Are you sure it's going to be roads? I think it's going to be slow turners there, I guess. Let's see. Virtual analyst.
He is saying that he felt that I was a genuine analyst, but he feels that I also blabber without any research. He didn't expect this. Clearly, he's a Sanju Samsung fan. He said that Harshit could have had a bias towards Sanju, but not me.
Yeah.
RP's strike rate at 5 is 134.
Rishabh Pant's strike rate is 134.
So what is the-
So
And that's
you-
predominantly because of 150 that he scored at that position.
I mean,
Predominantly.
You said
Yeah.
that Rishabh Pant can't make it into the ODIs as compared to KL because
Yeah, so
KL
look
has
at their
got
overall numbers.
Yep.
Just look at that overall numbers. If you're going to look at it, please open
KL
ODI
Rahul and Rishabh
records of
Pant.
KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant
KL
at
Rahul
number
is
5. You want to
Miles
see
ahead. Miles.
that's the issue with a lot of people. Somebody is a good analyst, and that's why I say most of the time don't read comments, because if you say good things about their favorite player, then you're the best analyst. If you criticize their favorite player, then you are rubbish.
No. Go.
No, no.
Unlike
Shivam.
you, I'm not a fan of anybody.
Yeah, wait. I'll tell you.
We'll get
see.
that. We'll go to the next question in the meanwhile.
Yeah, so let's just say, I mean, Pant, unfortunately, it's not been, I mean, he's been inconsistent. He is behind in the curve when you look at it. So, yeah, at number 5, okay, let's remember this 57.2. Wow, 95.4 strike rate for KL Rahul in this particular sense.
Let's see Rishabh Pant.
Yeah, so 57, 95 strike rate.
And you have to see the number of matches and the
Matches, yeah.
runs as well.
Yep, go down. Yeah.
Hmm.
And
down, yeah.
Go down. Number 5. Okay. He has played 7 games, 44.2, 136 strike rate.
Yeah, so see the difference. The strike rate goes up, but the average comes down,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And you must also remember.
30 games. He's played 4 times
Yeah,
more.
so also the sample size.
Yeah.
That way, though, at number 6, if he's played 2, he's even better than somebody else at number 6, because in 2 games you'll decide that.
Yeah. So that's why I see KL.
So
has,
then it'll be like that. At number 4, his strike rate is 86
Yeah.
or something like that. For
86.7.
No,
for,
is this for?
this is for KL.
No, I want Rishabh Pant.
Rishabh Pant, just other slab. Yeah. 97.
So now you'll say he's a poor number 5, because his strike rate is 97. But number 5 he's 136. So I'm saying that's how it's misleading. That one position cannot make you or break you. So that's why you look at in a overall scenario, and the numbers are a mismatch at the moment.
Yep.
You can play him. He does well. That's great.
Yes.
But that's a fact.
Yeah. Questions? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. Dex is saying, did you see Luan de Pretorius' thoughts? Wow. I mean, that
I think
flick
he'll-
shot that he had of Trent Bolt.
He'll make his T20I debut soon
Yeah.
for South Africa.
Luan de
That's happening,
Pretorius
yeah.
playing for Pal Royals against MI Cape Town, right?
Yeah.
Bolt.
But Pal Royals, they are out of
Pal
the
Royals,
league now.
yeah. And now we are seeing Sunrisers Eastern Cape in the final for the 3rd time. Wow. I think they may be the only franchise you win it 3 consecutive times. A T20 league.
Sialkot Stallions?
No, but proper T20. That time Sialkot and they didn't have a pocket, like same for Australia, they didn't have a big bash league. At that time, they had an Australian domestic competition. That's why.
In which you had Tasmania Tigers. And
Yeah.
all those teams.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Palak Paneer lover. Oh,
Is this the final question?
yeah.
Okay, the last question of the evening.
Yep. Australia plays with Hazelwood in spite of Boland great performances because they are confident in their plan. So why couldn't India drop Iyer for right left plan.
Arey Baba, Boland is a
Like for Hazelwood.
exactly, no. He was ahead of him already, and it's Test match cricket. We were talking about ODI cricket. It's completely different. There's no right left in that. No.
Yeah.
If you were saying you played instead of an off spinner, a leg spinner, then I can understand. They're exactly the same.
Exactly. So
And Hazelwood is not being done a favor by playing them. Just look at his record, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just that unfortunate for Boland that
yeah.
he's got Hazelwood to contend with. But they're like for like.
He's not going to play the Champions Trophy though. Josh Hazelwood.
Yeah.
Two-third
Australia,
of-
nobody is playing. Half their team is not.
Two-third of Australia's pace battery is not going to play CT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I said I see them as only potentially semi-final, but not title contenders.
Never know.
Could be. I mean, they're
They're good on the
backups are
day,
Also,
they
yeah.
can- yeah.
There's a Bartlett, there is an Ellis, there is a Spencer Johnson.
Yeah.
So who knows? Just as you said, there could be a Jake Fraser McGurk coming in.
We'll have that discussion.
We'll have that discussion soon. Yep.
Okay, on that note, we're going to take your leave. But thank you, as always, for joining us on the Dugout. You guys have a good weekend. Sunday is the game. And join us on Sunday. Post-match is when we do our analysis.
Yes.
So look forward to your company then.
Yep.
From the two Siddharths and I. Bye-bye.
Good night. Nandri. Vanakkam. Shubhratri. Shabba khair. Eat your vegetables. Don't trouble your mother. And stay safe.
And subscribe.
Subscribe to Sports Today as well. Bye-bye.